been a nurse anesthetist for 30+ years, and I've had the pleasure of working with Dr. Khoobehi and numerous other surgeons over those years. I used to joke with him in surgery all the time and say, if I ever need surgery, you're going to be the doctor I choose. Little did I know in a few years I'd need his services. When I first found out that I had breast cancer, I had to go to diagnostic imaging and get the results. And as soon as I left there, I came here. He was the first person I told. I have total faith in him. I know what he can do, and it's just incredible. The results are beautiful. He told me that there was a new procedure that he was going to try to do, which was fat injections. It would take about 3 different surgeries. The first surgery, of course, I spent 1 night in the hospital and went home the next day. It was a bilateral mastectomy where they removed the breast, and he added a little fat from liposuction of my waist and hips. The second surgery, 3 or 4 months later, was liposuction with fat injections to the breast. And another 3 months later was more fat injections. I thought it was a great idea. It feels very natural because it's my fat. I can feel the skin, the breast area. It looks very normal to me. And right after surgery, the first surgery, when I looked down and I saw cleavage, I thought they didn't do the surgery when I woke up, because I peeked under the dressing. And I asked my friend who was sitting with me, I said, did they do the surgery? And he said, yeah. It's like, oh my God, I have cleavage. I was so excited. This facility is wonderful. You know, down from the receptionist to the nurses that work here, and they're just wonderful. They answer all your questions, and they know what you're going through, so it makes you feel very comfortable to be here.
I was talking to my husband, and we were talking about my birthday gift and all this, and I was like, you know, I don't want anything. And I said, don't give me anything. All I want is my neck done when I went for my 50th birthday. So I have waited all these years, and when 50 came, I was, thank God that Dr. Khoobehi agreed that I could have it done, because then I would have to wait till I was 51 probably. So when I turned 50, I decided that's what I wanted to have done. So we did this in 6 months ago, and it came out beautiful. Dr. Khoobehi has always steered me in the right direction. He's never let me down, and I just trust him. I totally trust him with my life. I mean, to trust somebody to put a needle in your temple, you have got to say that you really trust this person. When I first came in, and I was talking to him before my abs, because I was talking to him about having the tummy tuck and about my butt, and then we were talking about skin, because I said, you know, there's a lot of things about my skin. I was like, you know, what can I do to get rid of the freckles? I had freckles all right here, and I didn't know what I could do about it. So that's when he sent me over to Lisa, and she actually performed Fraxel. And that is the most amazing laser I have ever, and I will tell anybody to ever have, is amazing. After the second, I think you're supposed to have like 4, but you can come in and have 1 and get results. But after 2, all my freckles were gone. Everything here was gone. Your skin was like a baby's butt. I'm not kidding you. It was amazing. I loved it. And my skin is dramatically looks good. People are like, you don't look 50, you know, and they're like, you don't look anywhere near that. I mean, I get that all the time. Well, he goes the extra mile, because he goes in and he starts showing you all the pictures of the before and afters that he has of all of his other clients. And that's what sold me. I was like, wow, that's amazing. And he never, as long as I've known Dr. Khoobehi, he's never ever done anything to me that I've ever been unhappy about, ever. I've never been unhappy, but him as a doctor and talking to him and seeing those pictures and showing me, I mean, that sold me.
I have a wonderful relationship with my husband, and I'm a very outgoing person, very social. And so I was always confident, but I always hated buying a bathing suit. You know, getting dressed up, you know, dress shopping, things like that. I always felt, I don't know if inadequate is the right word, but I always wished that, you know, that it was different. It's something I always considered. I was never a very endowed person, but I never had shape issues per se. And after having 2 children back to back, both of which I nursed for a long time, barely felt like a woman anymore. And so I really considered it, talked it over with my husband, and it was something I really wanted to do. I came in for a consultation, nervous, and it was wonderful. Dr. Walters' bedside manner is like no other physician I've ever been around. He's very easygoing. The first thing, he walks into the room and asks why you're there. You know, he's not the doctor that looks and says, oh, okay, you must be here for A, B, C, D. He wants to know why you're there and what you want to get out of your procedure. And then he offers his advice and recommendations. His support staff is amazing. So after surgery, you know, I went home that day. He called me that evening, which was lovely, and I know several doctors do that. He called me every day, about 5 days, just to see how I was doing. I am thrilled with my results. It's amazing, the transformation. It's a very natural look. He knows. He's just smart. He's very good at what he does. He's an artist, so he knew what was going to make me look best. I mean, I love my children, and I was, you know, very happy that I made the decision to have them and nurse them. But, you know, at the end, it was a difference. So that's why I did it, and I've never looked back. It's the best thing I've ever done.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer in December 2014. My surgery was performed on New Year's Eve day. And that to me was, you know, we could have easily said, we can't do it that day, you know, da, da, da. It was done that day. And it was a 10 to 12 hour surgery. So they were there throughout the whole deal. And to me, that was pretty awesome. They're artists. They basically look at their work as, you know, you're this blank canvas now, and when you wake up and you still see that you have breast and you do have some cleavage, you're like, it's pretty awesome. This whole thing with breast cancer is an emotional process, and I've talked to them about that before. I said, you know, there's a piece of this puzzle that I know you guys are surgeons, but there's also emotions that are all over the place. You know, they're running rampant with us at this point because we've been through a lot, and I know a lot of people go through different surgeries, but they just got it. You know, whether their staff or any of their staff have walked in the shoes that we've walked in, it's still emotional, and they just always kind of made you feel it's okay. You know, a hug, come in, give you the nice hug, enjoy seeing your family that come with you. Since being diagnosed, have talked to several women that have enjoyed, I think, seeing what my experience was about. An example was someone just a year ago, after I had the nipple reconstruction, had just been diagnosed, and she was so anxious and upset about the whole thing. And she came over, and we weren't planning this, but I said, you know, if it would make you feel any better, I said, I would be happy to show you my work. I said, I've been shown all over Metairie. I mean, what's one more person? But when I showed her my breast, it was like immediate relief. Like, she felt that they felt natural. She felt that, you know, this is a good outcome. This really looks good. When you come to see Dr. Khoobehi and Dr. Walters, they still make you feel on top of the world about it. Even though there's so many other issues that you have to deal with the cancer diagnosis alone, they just keep saying to you and making you feel the confidence of you will be fine. And that is what Dr. Khoobehi told me the first time I met him. He says, you will be fine.
My previous surgeries made me feel botched, each and every one of the 6. But when I came to Dr. Khoobehi, he turned my life completely around. He made me feel wonderful, something that I haven't felt in 30+ years. I felt botched because they were never equal in size. One was always larger than the other. Several times they collapsed. And he went above and beyond the call of duty to make everything perfect for me. That's exactly what it is. From the first time I came here, I had such an amazing experience. I knew that when I left here that it was a go. I was ready for the surgery. And not only did he do my surgeries, but he took compassion in caring about me afterwards to have me go through 10 treatments of endermology for the fat that he removed so that fat wouldn't deposit in the body. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. I've never had that done before. No doctor has ever offered that before. His bedside manner, his mannerism, his heart. He has a heart of gold, and you can tell he cares. He's not in it for the money. He's in it to make a person feel good about themselves. And that's what I love about Dr. Khoobehi. My level of confidence is through the roof now because of Dr. Khoobehi. I haven't had this confidence in years, and I wholeheartedly cannot thank him enough for all he's done for me. Dr. Khoobehi's the best.
At 39, I went and got a mammogram. So when I went in for this year's mammogram at 40, I thought I was totally ahead of the curve. I'm like, I already did this before, it's gonna be no problem. I'm gonna get this done and then go on vacation for 3 weeks. And first day of vacation, I get the call that I need to come back immediately. So I did when I got back, and very lucky, stage 0 DCIS. Most people don't even know what that is. The 3D mammograms today are so sophisticated, they can pick up the smallest little calcification, which is what this was. And so biopsy did show that I needed to do something, either a lumpectomy or mastectomy, depending on what I wanted to do. There was no question in my mind what I wanted to do. I'm 40, I have 2 little kids, a great husband, and I wanted to be here. I met with him, he came in the room, he sat down on one of those little doctor stools, and he's like, I know you've probably said this 100 times, but I want to hear everything that happened to lead you into my office. So we just went through the diagnosis stage, and then on the piece of paper that's on that little bed in the room, he gave me drawings. These are your options. You can do implants or you can do the flap surgery, and he explained what both of those were. And then he did an exam and he said, okay, well, you're actually not a candidate for implants. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is awful. He's like, well, hold on a second. And he looked at my abdomen. And the joke in my family with my husband is, I've never seen a cute young doctor so excited about stomach fat before. Because he said, I can take all of this and literally reconstruct your chest into breasts. And they'll look completely natural, they'll age with you over the years, and they're gonna look fantastic because you deserve to look fantastic. The day of my surgery, for whatever reason, the hospital was completely full. There were no beds. So they put me in ICU. And as luck would have it, 2 other women were in there in the ICU as well with flap surgeries. Now, the ICU nurses know what to do with flaps, but they don't necessarily see them a lot. So they come in every hour with a Doppler machine, and they have to listen to the flap to make sure it's taking. So every hour a nurse would come in, open my gown and say, oh my gosh, these look so good. And then they'd say, there's 2 other women in here. They look okay. You look amazing. And the first one said that, and I thought, well, she's being nice. And the second one said that, and I thought, maybe there's something to it. And like by the 5th time they said it, I knew that Dr. Walters had done something very special and different. And I asked him about it, and he said, Heather, you know, yes, you're having reconstruction, but it's aesthetic reconstruction. We're not putting you back together just to put you back together, putting you back together to look amazing.